Check out astro.family/Datto for 5% off your Astro purchase. You know what headset Felwinter wore? Neither do I. I'm not here to speculate, but I use this one. Felwinter's Lie, a legendary shotgun from Destiny 1's Iron Banner event, is back as part of some plot development in Season 10. The saga for this quest involved in getting this gun is quite an experience, so let's start from the top. Originally, this event started with a quest called The Lie, which you picked up from Anna Bray on May 12th. The first part of the quest involved going to Vostok to learn about some plot points that are expanded upon in the lore books that unlock after getting Felwinter's Lie. Rasputin was attacking an Exo very aggressively, and the dialogue expands upon that. The next part of the quest required players to get 3 million completions of the new, harder version of the seasonal activity, aka the public event, on each of the 3 destinations. To clarify, it wasn't 3 million completions, but rather 3 million Guardians had to have a success. So if 5 people completed an event, it would give 5 of the 3 million points. After a day or so, the EDZ was at 2%, the moon was at 1%, and IO was at 0%. It was calculated that at current rates, we would finish this event after the season was already over. Community apathy was so bad that the concept of intentionally failing the event was the main course of action that people wanted to take as a protest against this. After all, we had been doing the event since the beginning of the season, and this new, harder version of the event was being completed less often because of higher requirements. People were struggling to get the triumph for a perfect run of the event as well, partly in thanks to matchmaking. Bungie heard this feedback loud and clear, giving a 5x bonus to completions, knocking down that 9 million number to about 1.8 million, and making the event easier by increasing the percentage points per wave completion. They even increased the completion bonus to 10x on the weekends. As a result, the community rallied and got the event done after a few days of grinding. The next step involved getting 1,000 shotgun kills, which could be easily done in 20 minutes by loading up a Shuro-Chi checkpoint in Last Wish or hitting up the Whisper mission. This led you to the Tyrant Mission on the moon, where you would go into the moon bunker, load up the mission, and be teleported back to Sanctuary under the Tyrant Mission banner. This immediately started a hunt. Could this be the newest secret mission? What did we have to do? The search was on. The public event didn't do anything. Seraph Tower did nothing. This didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. That is, that's unfortunate. Bungie just cannot catch a break. The quest was bugged, and we'd have to wait until they could fix it, with the fix coming a couple of days later via a hotfix. The Tyrant Mission was repaired, and what ensued was a bunch of dialogue from Rasputin, translated by Anna Bray, describing a story of a tyrant casting away their son. Felwinter's Lie would emerge, being held by a hologram. You would pick it up. Anna Bray would give you a couple more lines about how you were in an old part of the Rasputin bunker, and that was about it. Felwinter's Lie itself is something that at first glance seems like it would become the best shotgun in the game, rendering hundreds of thousands of mindbenders irrelevant. It's all range, full choke, accurized, and then a selection of slide shot or quick draw and opening shot or vorpal weapon. All of these are great perks. It also comes with the intrinsic perk Shot Package, which gives the pellets a bit more of a uniform spread. So everything about this shotgun seems like it would dominate. And after using it for a few games, I was not the most impressed. This gun makes it seem like you're going to map people constantly, and that was not really my experience, although I am pretty out of practice with a shotgun. The thing that really allows you to map people sometimes with something like Mindbenders is a non-uniform pellet spread. Now, Mindbenders isn't completely random. There is some semblance of a basic pattern, but when we compare it to Felwinter's Lie, you can really see the consistency in Felwinter's compared to Mindbenders. So sometimes when you shoot with Mindbenders, you get enough pellets to hit to kill someone from really far out, whereas with Felwinter's, you have a pretty set range and there aren't going to be too many times where you get those crazy kills. There are also 13 lore pages that you can get by getting kills with Felwinter's Lie. You will not need thousands of kills like you did with Thorn, and you'll be able to farm them pretty quickly. You can get the pages in PvE or PvP. I did about half and half. Is Felwinter's Lie worth getting? I think so, partly because the quest is really easy and it's not going to take you a long time to do, but whether or not you will actually get use out of it is another story. If you have a God Roll Mindbenders or Astral Horizon that you really enjoy using, then I'm not sure how much you're going to get out of Felwinter's Lie. However, Felwinter's Lie does set a new bar for shotguns. If you don't have a good one right now, or you just couldn't be bothered to go farm one, then this is the gun for you, and you should absolutely go get it. I don't really consider it much of a PvE shotgun, although you could use it there if you wanted. I just prefer higher rate of fire shotguns and shotguns with 1-2 punch or trench barrel. As for my thoughts on this whole quest experience, I was sort of on the community's side with this one when it first launched. As soon as I saw this quest pop up, I did one completion and I was immediately over it. If you asked anyone about this quest before it launched, I think most, if not all people, would have told you that it was not going to go over well with the community when we're already fatigued on public events being the main thing to do this season. Making it easier to complete was a good move, especially if Bungie wanted to actually make sure that people completed this quest event, and I do truly wonder what it would be like if the community just straight up refused to do this. But Bungie responded in one of the only ways that they could, and responded relatively quickly, which I can give some props. The Tyrant quest being bugged and baiting people into thinking that we were about to dive into this next secret mission, just unfortunate. It is unfortunate. I'm not going to get too mad at Bungie for this because we all know bugs are bad and Bungie does not want to release the game with bugs in it. But I think it's totally valid that people are getting really frustrated with the growing amount of bugs popping up in the game over the past few months. Obviously, with the current crisis, things are going to be even more prone to breaking as well, which really sucks. I know my friends have been getting error coded out of GM Nightfalls a ton the past 3 weeks, and it's not fun to get to the final boss and have someone get disconnected. As for the Tyrant mission itself, I thought after some dialogue that we were going to enter another secret mission type thing, and not getting that was a little bit of a letdown from a gameplay point of view. I tend to be pretty excited, generally speaking, when we're getting new story beats, but as I'll mention in my Season 10 recap video, I am getting frustrated at how the story is currently playing out because I have no concept of where we're going or what we're doing. The lore books from Felwinter's Lie go into the background of Felwinter, how Felwinter joined with the Iron Lords and went looking for Siva, which is what Anna Bray was referencing during the very first portion of the quest when we were roaming Vostok. This might be teasing Season 11 and what's to come and all of that, but even if it does, I'm currently in a state where I'm more frustrated at the story than excited for it. This is because Bungie has a very small history of paying off story beats, and it feels like we've just been bouncing around all over the place, just swinging wildly at every major character, hoping they have something interesting that they're going to do. Now, if this was just supposed to be a little spin-off thing, here's some fun lore bits from a thing you guys did a while ago, I guess that's fine, and I think that goal was achieved. But I think people are so starved for a cohesive story experience right now that we want development on current events, or rather the expectation is that any new story stuff will expand on current events. I also think that because we're very used to combat-oriented things like secret missions or exotics or whatever, that there is an expectation of combat as well, and just walking from dialogue box to dialogue box is not very exciting unless it is hitting the goals from my previous statement of wanting to see current events. That is everything I have on Felwinter's Lie. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.